Good evening and welcome to the FE Bar. I'm your host, Jack Jordan Maynard, and joining me as ever is Mr. Jack Pickering. Tonight, you get the chance to pick a track that you want on the Gen 4 calendar. A calendar made by the fans. Maybe FE will take note of your suggestions. We will also do maybe a small little Madrid E-Prix preview towards the end of the show, which takes place next week. But we cannot do this show without you. So make sure you hit !Discord, get into the chat, because literally we can't do this show without you. We've literally made this show for you, and if without you it could be over in 5 minutes. So we need you in the waiting room, or at least if you're in the chat, we will have some ways. If you can't participate and want to come on, we do have ways that you can participate in this show. So but the more the merrier that we can get on this FE bar, the better, because a lot of work has gone into it, and as I said, we can't do it without you. So, Pico, you're wearing a party hat. Explain.
Yes, I am wearing a party hat. So, today's my uncle's birthday. Happy birthday, John. And I've been over in Leighton Buzzard today. This was organised after me and Jack had settled on today as the date to do this bar. And so I've had to come back a little bit earlier than the rest of my family to come and do this. But this is something that I've wanted to do this since August. I feel like this show has so much potential tonight. Tonight, basically, we are telling Formula E what we want to see in Gen 4, and that's huge. That's huge. Obviously, season 13 is just around the corner, and let's be real, they're not going to take note this for season 13. But this is something for them to maybe look at and go, right, we need to consider this option because we know that this is what the fans want. This is why you guys need to come and tell us. This is basically like Dragon's Den tonight. You're going to come and pitch us you're going to pitch us a venue that Formula E can race at, and then you guys will get the deciding vote as well.
Yep. So as I said, that's why it's so critical for you to be on. But there are some rules which we're going to talk about. So I'm going to get the rules up right now, and I'll just give a brief read, even though you can see them. Hello to everybody in chat. Hello Chris, hello Nikki, hello Jesper, nice to see you. Hello Elise as well in the chat. So really good to see you. So here is the rules. So this is your chance to say where you think Formula E should visit during Gen 4. You must adhere to these rules. It must be a location where there's space for pit, paddock, and an e-village. So, all the good stuff that we love. Callers will have 5 minutes. So you're only going to have 5 minutes to pitch your ideas for your Gen 4 location. No repeat. So really and truly, we want you to pitch your best idea. Your number one, right? We don't have time to go into 3, 4, 5, 6 different locations. Your best location. Now, however, why we asked for you to have 3 to 5 ideas was because if the first person that comes into the waiting room says your track, then you've got to back up, right? So that is really important, right? Previous Formula E venues are allowed. So if you want us to go back to Punta del Este, we can go back to Punta del Este. I actually think Punta del Este would probably suit the Gen 4 cast, to be honest with you. Anyway, if you don't want to come on, this is the big part, right? Because you might be nervous. Don't be nervous of us. We don't bite, right? We're lovely. I hope you've realised that by now. But if you do not wish to come on, you can submit a form during the show, which we'll go to. And your options can be read out by Pico. Pico is in control of that. So on the night, there'll be 2 votes. So vote 1, which is what we're going to sort of look at now, is keep or delete from the current Season 12 calendar, which opens right now. It's open, but you guys will see the vote. Yeah. I will go to that screen in a second. So, and then vote 2, which will happen a little bit later on, will be voting on your suggestions of what tracks that you would like to see. So the more the merrier that we can get, the better that this show is going to be, effectively. The more tracks that we get, the better. So that's where we're going. I'm going to go to the free cam thing now, which is really weird because there's only 2 of us.
Yes, so tell me when you've done it.
Done it?
Right, there we go. So the vote is now open. You can now see in between myself and Jack that there is your chance to vote. I'm assuming it's this way. I can't really see on this camera yet. But But yeah, so if you scan that QR code, you can vote on whether to keep or delete from this year's calendar. That secondary QR code is where you pitch if you do not want to come on, and then yeah, if you whack it in there, and then hopefully we will have the time to be able to read out your suggestions. So don't worry if you don't want to come on. We can sort everything out for you.
Yeah. So I don't know. So how are we going to start this Pico then with the keep or delete? Are we going to run through? So you should be able to. Maybe I should do it myself.
Yes. Yeah. A bit of preface for this. So what you will have is the options of every single race on this year's Formula E calendar, with the exception of London, because we already know that the London XL venue is not suitable to host Formula E races in Gen 4. So you've got every round from Sao Paulo to Tokyo this season. You just need to decide whether to keep or delete it, and then later on in the show we will announce which countries have decided to be kept and deleted from the calendar. There will be 16 options on this hypothetical calendar. So we know that there will definitely be 6 new options, but if you choose to delete a circuit, that means that there will be more options for new circuits to be on there. But it's just whether you decide whether you think that venue is suitable to continue into the Gen 4 era.
Good news, Pico. It works.
Yeah, I did do a little check beforehand just to make sure that it was okay. But yeah, I am glad it works. And yeah, Jack, if you want to vote on that, you can as well. I voted as well. So yeah, and then those results will be read out a little bit about 9:30ish. So when that second vote is open is when we will announce the results of that first vote. But yeah. I think that makes everything somewhat clear. I mean, if you do have any questions, whack them down in the chat, and we will try and explain everything to you. I'm very much kind of taking the lead because this is my baby tonight, and so yeah, I will hopefully be able to answer any of your questions. Right, so we will very quickly open the lines. So you will have 5 minutes to vote. 5 minutes to pitch your Gen 4 venue. And towards the end of that 5 minutes, I will give you a 1 minute warning, 30-second warning, and a 10-second warning, just so you know when to kind of wrap up in those 5 minutes. We're not going to drop you from the call immediately, but just so you've got an idea in terms of when to wrap up. We're going to go in chronological order from when you guys get in the waiting room. So I've already got a list of what kind of order we are going in. But yeah, the earlier that you get in, the more likely that you are going to get on tonight. All right?
All right. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, Nikki has never seen me more excited in an FE, but I think it's just because I've actually planned it.
Yeah.
Is this what I'm going to be like when I'm hosting in a month or so's time?
We're racing at Monaco.
Yeah, you're not here for Monaco and Berlin, aren't you?
I'm not here for Monaco and Berlin, so yep. So that would be interesting. I have to start doing some touting around, I think. The best that I can.
Right.
So, Mister, I'm just sorting out a few little tweaks and stuff.
Right, lovely. Whilst we're doing that, shall we get the first person in?
Yeah, let's get the first person in.
Right. It's maybe me. I think I pronounced that right. If I've got that wrong, I'm very sorry. Hello, you are on the FE bar. Can you hear us? Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. You're right, how are you?
Oh, maybe Emmy, are you there? We can. There's signs of life.
Oh.
Yeah, am I coming through?
Yeah, you're coming through.
Yes, you're coming through. We can hear you now.
We can hear you.
Bit awkward.
Yeah, good. Okay. Right. So, are you aware of the rules?
Of the track selection?
Yeah. Of your pitch. So you've got a venue that you're ready to pitch, yeah?
Yeah, yes.
Lovely.
Brilliant. Right, okay, so you will have 5 minutes to pitch your. Sorry, I'm just getting a timer up. You will have 5 minutes to pitch your venue to us, and at which point and then your circuit will go into the vote later on in the show. Are you ready?
Yep, ready as ever.
Right. Your 5 minutes starts now.
So my idea for a Gen 4 Formula E calendar would be to go to the Detroit Street Circuit. It is I think it's something like 2.7 kilometers long, so around what we kind of have in Formula E at the moment. But it has a good long straight. It has the dual pit lane, which we've seen work before in places like Sao Paulo, so that's not really an issue. And the fact that it be combined with IndyCar and IMSA, which both are major series that both also have a good street racing portion, which is something that's quite common in Formula E's identity, I'd say it's a good collaboration that's kind of not really been ever sort of looked at outside of maybe the Long Beach 3 years ago. So that's sort of my thinking behind it. Also, IMSA is like you get a few Formula E drivers that do sports car racing, so they can always double up with the IMSA race that happens at Detroit as well.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, I feel like you've come to a natural stop. Are we talking about the new Detroit E-Prix or the new Detroit IndyCar layout, or Bellevue, which was the old one?
Belle Isle.
Belle Isle.
The new
one.
the new Detroit layout. Yes.
So the new Detroit layout.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did watch a tiny bit of that race, and it does intrigue me, the Detroit E-Prix and the Detroit layout, because it is obviously, if it works for IndyCar, it should work for Formula E, right? So that's my premise on that. I don't know what you think, Pico.
Yeah, I think in terms of the layout, I think when they went from kind of Belle Isle to Detroit, it did feel like a bit of a downgrade. But the thing is, I absolutely adored that Detroit circuit on Belle Isle. But yeah, it's definitely bumpy, and it's a bit more it's a bit more hectic, and I feel like it would kind of suit like the chaos of Formula E.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add?
I think if they could go back to Belle Isle, that would be great, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, especially with sort of Chevys. Very much they like having it around their headquarters. I know they're not in the sport, but in Formula E, but it's sort of one of those things. I think going back to Belle Isle isn't likely to happen soon, but I think getting Formula E to Detroit could.
I think it's a,
Yeah,
I think it's a
absolutely
good
fair.
idea. I think it's a good idea. I like it. It's a strong start using IndyCar as a base, because for me, I'm not pitching this as my idea, but I'm a big fan of Chicago. Love Chicago as a city, and obviously the NASCAR track that was there around Grant Park, which is proper central, and I was like, wow, imagine Formula E on that track. And I do think the Gen 4 cars could easily do that track as well. And obviously that's off the NASCAR grid, the championship this season. So it's like, does Formula want to jump on that and revive it and make it its own? That could be something to think about. But I do think going down the IndyCar route, and I think a lot of people have been also looking at, because we had St. Petersburg the other day, and people have been looking at St. Petersburg thinking that could be an option for Formula E in the future. Pico, anything to add before?
Right, you've got 1 minute left. So, is there any other thing that you'd like to pitch about Detroit?
I'd say, just to sort of add on to the IndyCar point, of IndyCar is very much like a street circuit. It has its like multitude of street circuits, but it's very much like, I think that you get a lot of fan overlap of just in the style of racing, the close racing and the street racing. So I think it'd be good for growing the sport as well. Would
you want it to race alongside IndyCar and IMSA, or would you want it to be on like a separate weekend? You have 20 seconds.
Yeah, I think maybe a single header just because it's a tight schedule. But yes, I think on the same weekend would work.
So a single hander.
Yeah.
And what I'm doubling up there. So doubling up on IndyCar.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would work, to be honest with you, because I think IndyCar have got their own schedule, and I think fitting us in between. I don't think Formula E would like that, to be honest with you. But I think if you do back to back, like one weekend it's the Formula E, then the next weekend it's IndyCar, or there's 2 weeks apart, so then setup is not too long, and the people don't mind it. I think that would be my best solution. But I like it. It's a strong start. Right now, what I'm gonna do?
Right.
I'm gonna
we are at time, but go on.
I know we're at time, but I'm also going to just say this, just in case we need it, Pico. If you have other options there, maybe Benny, come back later on in the show. If we need some more ideas, right? If we need some more ideas, and you've got a couple more ideas that you'd like to pitch or think about between now and 9:30ish. Come back, right? So just in case we need it, if we call for it and you think I've got another idea, I'd like this one as well, come back, right? Because I think we'll open that up just in case we need it, right? Because we don't know. As I said, this show's for you, so it depends on the more people that come on and tell us your ideas, the better. If not, then we'll try and get some more people who maybe have got one or two suggestions, and we'll have also look at people in the chat. But awesome, thank you so much for coming on. We massively appreciate it. It's a good start. I like it.
Thank you.
No worries.
Right. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
See you later, indeed.
Right. There we go. We've got one on the board, which is Detroit. Right. If you want to join, !Discord in the chat, and we will get you on. Please do come on because we want to hear your options for the potential venue in Gen 4. Right, we'll move on to the next person who came into chat. That is Elsie. So, Elsie, you are in. Hello. How are we?
Hello. I've got a presentation. Can I bring it up?
Yes. Right. Okay. So, yes, bring the presentation up to us, but obviously we can't show it on the stream. So afterwards, if you want to drop the presentation down in the Discord in the FE Bar channel, that'd be grand.
Okay. This is the presentation.
Right. Okay.
Right. Can you see it?
Pico,
yes,
see it. I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to break the stream.
Okay.
I think you just press watch stream. You should be all right. But just don't go onto it.
I don't want to break our stream, so it's fine. I can listen. I'm just going to listen.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of research recently.
Right.
Yep.
Oh my god, man!
Hang on. Right.
I'm not talking to you. Has the time started?
Right. I will start the timer now. You got 5 minutes.
Okay, so I've been doing a lot of research into when's the best times for stuff. So this is my entire season. I've planned this out. I don't know how people do this. This was genuinely the most boring thing I've ever done, this presentation. That's a joke. So this is round one. Obviously, it's October. What country loves the month of October? Germans. That's right. It's the Berlin E-Prix.
Right. Okay. That's on the calendar though. So
that's not important.
So we need pitch us a city or a place where we need
right?
the new one.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a new one. This one's a new one. So 20th of the 12th. What's that? Christmas time. And I've looked at the good areas, because obviously it's warmer in some areas, colder in others. It's a Lapland E-Prix.
Right.
Now I know what you're looking at that. You're going, where's the track?
Go on.
There it is.
So you're saying move London to Lapland?
Not the entirety of London. That would be impossible.
Well, no. The London Formula E circuit. Yes. Right.
All the buildings.
Right.
Next.
Round
I'm not
three.
having Lapland.
Yeah.
No, I haven't put it down.
I'm not having it.
It's the new year, right?
Right.
Why don't we celebrate it? Right, race starts at midnight. With all the things.
I can't see
fireworks.
anyone agreeing to that, but sure.
Right. Where gets it first? Melbourne. Now, I was going to pull up something of the F1 track here, but I couldn't find any in time.
Melbourne. What?
We've got that.
So, for those in chat who don't know, it's a picture of Oscar Piastri crashing out before lights out last weekend.
Yeah.
So you're saying Albert Park for
Yes.
that one, right? I'll make a note because that's the first proper option, right?
There's going to be a lot of tracks in Britain for this one. This is the
Right.
first one. It's on the 2nd of the 2nd. I got bored thinking of dates by this point.
The stream stopped.
Has it?
Yeah. You've had half your time, by the way.
Okay, I can quit.
2.5 minutes.
Pitch.
Yeah.
Right, Elsie. Pitch your best one. So forget the calendar. I don't want to hear it. Right.
Too late.
Just
so
pick.
this
What is the best
this
one?
Is the Jack E-Pre.
Right. Great. It's us. Yes. Brilliant.
That's the track. It looks great. I know. Round 5. This is double header.
China.
Very accessible. It's a Chinese E-Pre.
Already on the calendar.
Next.
Next.
Elsie, stop. Pitch us your best
Cheshire.
one. The one that you think is the most likely to get on the calendar, because we need something that we can vote on.
I think it's this one. It's the Cheshire E-Pre.
I mean, as much as I love Cheshire, and I've spent plenty of times there because Alex Horn's from Cheshire, and so I've been to the Taskmaster football games quite a bit. But yeah, not so great as a
Not a fan. I've got another one you might like here. It's a Monaco E-Pre.
Monaco.
It's on the
already
calendar. It's on the calendar.
I've redesigned it.
Oh god.
That's it. And you might be thinking, that's not Monaco. Yeah, I've moved it. It's
Suntide. Right.
The Monaco E-Pre. It's going to be in St Ives. Why not?
You have 1 minute.
Okay, round 8. It's the Rome E-Pre.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
Bro,
Okay. Finally,
I like that.
we're
I like
getting
that.
somewhere.
Where's Mario from? Where's Mario from?
One
Right,
minute.
this could be
Wait,
a double
right.
header.
Let's stop. Where in Rome?
It was the original circuit.
The
Yeah.
original circuit.
The
But
old
the problem we
circuit, yeah.
had with the problem we had with that is,
We'll get through
is
the rest
the
of this
bump.
calendar. I've actually got 8 more races. I've actually got eight.
Okay, we just get through.
I
Just
feel
get
like
through.
Rome
Okay,
E-Pre
this
was the
is
one
Rainbow
for
Road
me.
E-Pre.
Rainbow
That's
Road,
it.
great.
This is a Kraus in South Sharnes, Iceland E-Pre. That's South Sharnes. That's Kraus. That's Kraus. That's Kraus. That's Kraus. That's Kraus.
No, lovely.
That's a Mexico E-Pre. Ignore
Mexico's
that.
on the
That's
calendar.
Kraus again. Round 12. That's a Message of Doom E-Pre. That's the track map.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
That is-
forgot there was rules. What?
Right. 20 seconds.
I would say
Okay.
time up.
Tokyo E-Pre. Ignore that. This one is the only one with pit boost. Okay, you might need it. It's a Rolex 24.
Right. Okay.
The whole thing. Round 15 is the Norwich E-Pre in Silverstone. It's a double header.
Silverstone. Right.
So this is the second one. And then
Alright.
number 17, the New York City E-Pre.
New
Win
York.
that.
That's a shout.
Round 18, Norwich E-Pre 3.
Right.
Why not? Thanks for
Right.
watching. There's Krauts.
Great.
Thank you.
Time up.
So
I think.
out of Albert Park, Rome, Silvo, and New York, which is your favourite?
I think Norwich E-Pre 4 has a good chance.
Right. So Silvo.
No,
Right.
no.
No, I'm joking. Rome.
Yeah, it has to be Rome.
Rome's
It
back on
has
the
to
calendar.
be.
Well,
It has to be
well,
Rome.
Rome's not back on the calendar. It's up to you at home who decide later on in the show.
It has to be
Um,
Rome.
Right.
Right.
Great.
Right, Elsie, I'm
Thanks,
gonna
Elsie.
thank you. Right, it's really important that you stick to the rules, right? Like, it's
Oh.
really important that you stick to the rules because, like, I love the enthusiasm. Don't get me wrong, I love the enthusiasm. It's just we need one area that if we're gonna keep because obviously from the ones that we keep and we delete from the original calendar, and then what we add, right, it's important. So it was nice to have a couple of options, but some of them were unrealistic, like Lapland. Like we're not going to Lapland, right? We're not going to Norwich. Right, we're just not going to Norwich.
Well, no. Norwich every time was Silverstone, and I will tell you the distance between Norwich and Silverstone. I can tell you because one of my colleagues goes back to Norwich a lot. Is about 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, we do want realistic shouts. Like the Romy Prix, I think, right, is a realistic shout. It was a track obviously everybody loved. Is it a track the Gen 4 cars can work at? I think yes. I think the Gen 4 cars could work at that track. There was enough, I would say, speed and enough sort of area and track width where I think the Gen cars, I don't think it would be an easy overtake, but apparently we don't want overtakes anymore. From what I've learned from watching Formula 1 is that the overtakes are not good enough. They're not real overtakes. So we don't want overtakes anymore. We want, I don't know what we want. We just want hard racing. So if we want hard racing too, then I think Rome could be an option for potential hard racing and so forth. But yeah, right, it's 8:32, right? So we've got 2 people currently in the waiting room. So as I said before, if you want to come on and have your say, come on. If you haven't come on before, come on. Join the Discord, !Discord. If you're already in the Discord and you'd like to come in, and if you're on the chat and you're not in the Discord, just get yourself in. Think of a track. It doesn't matter. We just want as many ideas as possible. Okay, Mr. Pico. Who's next?
Right. Next up is Mazrua. Right. Mazrua, you're in the FE bar. Give me a second because I'm going to write something in the chat. But speak to Jack for a bit.
Hello.
And then and then we'll do your pitch.
How are we? He's still muted, so hopefully while we're talking.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah,
now?
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, I got my calendar. I have written the calendar with an optional circuit as a backup, as an option.
Okay.
And I will just I'm not gonna stop and go through each and every time. I'm just gonna pitch all the names and then help you decide which is the best. Okay, it's 21 rounds.
Right.
No. I mean, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Are
9,
any of them double headers, or are they all just 21 locations?
12, 13. It's 13 locations. A 14th location is an option. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So, hold on. Let me set. Are you ready to hear my calendar?
2 seconds. Hang on. I need to.
You just tell me when
typing
you're
that,
ready, and
and
then I'll
then-
go through all the.
Right.
So before
Right.
you
There
go
we
through,
go. No, sorry. I just
before you
wanted
go,
to.
hold on. Before you go through,
Yeah, go on.
I would prefer, rather than you going through your calendar one by one from where you're starting to where you're ending,
Yes.
I think we're more interested in what in that calendar. What do you think is the most likely? What is the best? What is going to make people want to vote for that track and say, actually, yes, we want that track on the calendar.
Okay.
So go through that, pitch that one, and then if we go and if you've got time in your 5 minutes, then you can throw us another one, right? And then, as I said before, if we've got about an hour at this precise moment, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So
Okay,
you might be able to come on and pitch some of the others, for example, and then we can add them to the list. So in this kind of 5-ish minutes, right, pick
Yes.
2 or 3 that you think are the best ones that you think will be on that calendar, and then if we've got time later, we can revisit the other ones.
Okay. So you
Splendid.
just do.
Yeah.
Was
So
just going to say
out
that
of those 20 ones, and also forget the ones.
13 locations.
So
13 locations.
13 locations, so most of them are double headers. So forget the ones that are Monaco, Berlin, and
the
so
obvious
forth. The
one.
ones that are already Shanghai, Jeddah. If they're on
Okay.
your calendar, forget them. We're not interested in them. We want new ones. Where the whole point was thinking about what potential new circuits that we could talk about and we could, bring to the table.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. I was gonna say Bangladesh, but no, there's no known circuit in Bangladesh. But I can pitch you another potential course. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 potential new circuits.
Okay.
Okay. And out of the 6, okay,
What's your
shall I
best
go?
one? What's
Right,
your best
Right,
one?
hang on. Right, okay. Right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Your time starts now.
Okay. My proposed circuit is Highlands Motorsport Park at Cromwell, New Zealand, the current home of the New Zealand Grand Prix since 2024.
Sorry, what's it called? I need to
The
make
Highlands,
a note.
the Highlands
Highlands Motorsport Park
Motorsport
at
Park.
Highlands Motorsport Park, Cromwell, New Zealand.
Right,
Okay.
brilliant. I've made a note. Go on.
Where
Go on.
about?
Sorry.
Go on.
You know.
Pitch it to us.
Okay. So basically, it's a circuit with 3 different configurations: 4 kilometers, 2.22 kilometers, and 2.96 kilometers. I think Formula E would like the third and the first configuration.
Okay.
It has about a maximum of 14 turns. What I love is that it has an underpass between the turns of 4 and 5, and between turn and 11 there's an overpass, a jumping ramp before they go for the big, Peraltada, small Peraltada, and then reach the finish line. I love that jump, that ramp I saw at this year's New Zealand Grand Prix, which was I forgot the driver who won, but I was watching it, and even Calderon Pera and Louis Sharp, Ugo, the F2 drivers were racing. I found there was a ramp which was an overpass. There's an underpass and an overpass, and the circuit length fits for Gen 4's track length and widths. It can be held a week before the New Zealand Grand Prix, like an appetizer, if it doesn't want to be in the same weekend as the New Zealand Grand Prix. So I was thinking that's the best potential location for our New Zealand race, our first race in continental Oceania, where New Formula E is yet to race there before. We have 2 New Zealand drivers on the grid. I'm astonished that Formula E hasn't raced in New Zealand. I would love that circuit. It fits Gen 4, high speed, Highlands Motorsport Park, Cromwell, not far away, home of the New Zealand Grand Prix. Let's have a race. Let's have a single-header race there a week before the New Zealand Grand Prix. If it wants a pit boost, it definitely has location for it because it's a semi-permanent circuit. It's a road course type circuit. So, what do you think?
Okay, I have a question. Right, this
Go ahead.
ramp. You talk about this ramp. Like I don't know
Yes.
the circuit, right? So you say ramp.
Okay.
I'm imagining a bridge, right? Is it like a bridge where
It's
they
a
go
bridge.
up? They don't go. They
I-
don't. When you say ramp, I'm starting to see cars going in the sky, right, and then landing, right? So, or is it just a bridge?
I'm sorry, it's a small hilly area that's an overbridge. I said overpass. I said ramp out of my wheels kind of like mentality
Yeah.
of how cars jump off in the sky, but no, it's basically a small hilly ramp. But cars bounce off there. I saw the New
So,
the
so
New
how do you
Zealand.
think a Gen 4 car will take this ramp? Is it going to damage the car?
It's not a ramp. I'm sorry, misinterpretation. It's a
Fine.
small hilly overpass, but the Formula E cars can take a small light ramp. I mean, we had a small jump in Rome, remember?
Yeah, I
In the
know,
Rome
but that's the reason why we got rid of Rome.
Okay, you don't want. Well, I'm sure.
Well, it depends on which jump you're on about. There was a jump on the original circuit, which was fine. Then there was a jump on the longer circuit, which wasn't.
Yeah.
Turns 10 and
well-
11 is like a determination of your speed of like, do you make the drivers test into thinking, oh, do you want to make a jump here, or do you want to take it slow on a straight and then make sure the car's floor doesn't hit the ground hard? Because that's just a proposal. So again, Cromwell, New Zealand, Highland Motorsport Park is my best pitch.
Okay.
Other options are like Zandvoort, Netherlands, and then Watkins Glen, USA, and Montreal Circuit, Gilles Villeneuve, Canada. Those are my other proposed locations. Oh, and another outlandish proposal was the Maputo International Circuit in Maputo, Mozambique.
Right.
Interesting. I
You
prefer
may
your
have to send me a
other,
link to that one.
I
But
prefer
yeah.
your other options.
Yeah, those are my other
I
options.
prefer your other options. I like the idea of the New Zealand, right? And I
Yeah.
get the point of
We-
why,
Yeah, we definitely need a race kind of down there, but yeah.
Okay, I have a second question. And my
Go ahead.
question is, where is it located? Because my New Zealand geography, as much as I love, and I need to visit New Zealand at some point in my life, is it close to Wellington? Is it close to Auckland? What major city is it closest to? What E-Prix is this? Is it the New Zealand E-Prix? Is it the Auckland E-Prix? Is it the Wellington E-Prix? What E-Prix is it?
It's the Cromwell E-Prix. It's located
So where is Cromwell in relation to those big two cities?
I've been looking it up. It is
Otago, New Zealand.
It is right down, like
is it North Island or South
Island? South Island, South Island, mid bottom. So, but it's still a while away from Christchurch. It's it's right down the other end of
because
of
the question
New
is
Zealand.
okay, one, we've got to get Formula E and everybody there, and then we've got to get everybody to the track. So for me, for a Formula E race to work in New Zealand, you have to be in Auckland, you have to be in Wellington, fairly close. It probably have to be street races. Over there,
I knew you were gonna say street race. The real reason I chose this track is because the width of the Gen 4 car. That's the reason. If it was a Gen 3 car, I would have pitched a city somewhere like an Auckland E-Prix or a Christchurch or a Wellington E-Prix. But I look at the dimensions of the Gen 4 car, and that's why I came up with the Highlands Motorsport Park. Because the Gen 4 cars, it's a matter of, if you want a street race in New Zealand, in Auckland or Christchurch or many city, whatever, you have to make sure that the car fits the width of the track. The width of the track can fit the car. That's the other idea. You don't know how wide the New Zealand tracks are.
No. That's why, as I said, because once upon a time, and it's been confirmed, right, that they did look into an Auckland E-Prix. Like, Auckland in itself was looked at for a potential E-Prix. It got dismissed. It got told actually maybe the feasibility of it wasn't great.
Logistics.
But as itself, but they did look into an Auckland E-Prix. So I'd love to know the timings on that, because I think they're
which year are we talking about?
12, I think it was about 2018, 2019, around about then, if I remember correctly.
All right.
But it was a while ago. I remember. I think it was Alberto Longo. I think Alberto Longo told us, actually. I think it was Alberto Longo who told me. I think that's where I think I got it straight from the horse's mouth. That's how I know it's confirmed, right? Because we talked about Australia, and they said that Australia's not it's not a key market for them, which is quite sad, right?
Yeah.
Right, but there were looks, but if New Zealand's not going to work, you'd think you want to go to Australia before you go to New Zealand, if that makes sense, right? And
to be fair, I would like to have at least one race in New Zealand just to see how it goes, because absolutely not testing one race there at all is pretty saddening for me. I'm pretty sure that before they thought of racing in Marrakesh in Morocco, there were doubts as to, is there a potential market here? But look at the success of it. Marrakesh later stayed on the calendar for 5 seasons.
Yep.
So I was thinking, if Marrakesh, Morocco of all countries can have a racetrack, why not New Zealand? It's the home of the New Zealand Rally New Zealand. It's the home of the non-championship New Zealand Grand Prix. A lot of revolutionary drivers came from that country, so why not? I'm pretty surprised Formula E hasn't raced in New Zealand, which is why I wanted to pitch this track.
Yeah, no, for sure, Mazro, I appreciate that, but I believe
our time is up.
Yeah, so New
Zealand, it ended a while ago.
No, I was okay for a little bit of the back and forth. I think.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think I prefer some of your other options of Zandvoort and Madrid.
Maputo.
Yeah, Kailami, whatever. I think I prefer those. But
Madrid's on the calendar. You're heading there at the weekend.
I know I'm heading there on the weekend, but whether it be on the calendar for Gen 4,
you should know that.
My outlandish proposal wasn't Madrid; it was Maputo International Circuit in Mozambique.
Sorry.
But
yeah.
Okay.
Right, but thanks so much. And as I said, if we need a couple more we'll have a deep dive into one of the others. In
Okay,
a
okay.
moment's time.
I'm here.
Amazing.
I'm here.
Right, so we're gonna grab Ricardo now.
Yeah.
So we'll see you soon,
Yeah.
Mazarov.
See you soon.
Right.
Okay.
Just a quick PSA whilst we're getting Ricardo set up, ready to go. I've just been looking at the responses. Thank you for getting all your responses on there. I mean, we'd love you to come on, but if you don't feel comfortable coming on, you can always submit your response. That's the second QR code there. Just for the people who have said, for example, Valencia, where in Valencia? Is that the Ricardo Tormo, or is that at the old Formula One track? You need to elaborate on these answers. Someone said Oslo. I mean, like, it could be anywhere in Oslo. You need to give us a location for it to work. If we don't know the locations, we will not put it in. It's simple as that. Hi, Ricardo.
Hold on. Hi, Ricardo. It's amazing how this is. You've done one educate video where you're a cover teacher, and all of a sudden you've turned into teacher talk. That was pure and utter teacher talk. Right? You're not listening. You're not. You need to elaborate on your answers. What do you mean, Oslo? What do you mean, Oslo? Like, I need specifics.
In the rules.
Point, evidence, explain. Right? That's what I need from you, and you've got none of that in there. Do your work again and submit it again.
Look, I have been planning this since bloody August. Like, we're gonna do this properly. No. Hi, Ricardo. How are you?
Hello. I think I'm not doing any good as you are. Don't you think? The adrenaline is going off the charts today. What is going on?
I wish this was vodka.
All right.
Oh. I would like.
Alright,
I don't want to guess, but I don't want to guess your track. But I have a feeling I have a feeling I might know what it could be. What is your number one? So, are we ready to start your 5-minute pitch?
Hang on. I need
You need to
wait.
recover
I need to go
from
back
your
onto.
teacher
Yeah.
talk.
No. I need to go back on because I texted you. All right. Okay. Are you ready, Ricardo?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Right.
thing.
You got 5 minutes. Your time starts now.
So actually, my first pick is not gonna be Jack's idea of what I would put as my favorite, but it's actually in Canada, and it's not CGV. It's actually Toronto. So basically, I picked Toronto because it's a circuit that IndyCar left last year. They are moving from Toronto to Markham. So I think if in some world or some way we could get in, Formula E can make peace with Canada, and let's say have a race in Canada, but they would like to keep their origins. I think a good place to go, and being a circuit that is proven, they can do the facilities, and it's right in the city center. So I think Toronto could be a great pick if Formula E goes to Canada in Gen 4. So this is my best pick, and I know maybe some
like
others
it.
are gonna.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice. Yeah, so basically, I think people are going to pick some IndyCar tracks, and I did think this out of the fly because I didn't prepare anything. I didn't do a calendar presentation or whatever.
didn't want you to.
But
Good.
no, it's on the fly. It's on the fly. Yeah. I read it, but yeah, I didn't know. I just came out. Okay, you just said okay, pick 1 second, and that's it. Okay, but my first pick is Toronto, and I actually thought of another IndyCar tracks such as Arlington that we raced today, but I think it could not be optimal for the Gen 4 because of the bumps in that massive back straight. If anyone watched IndyCar this weekend,
Is Arlington in Texas? The Arlington, Texas. Is that the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
Arlington, Texas. Yeah, my other two picks aside from Toronto was Arlington and the same circuit that IndyCar used this weekend, and Barber Motorsport Spark. Because for me, as a circuit, Alabama, the Barber Motorsports Park is a roller coaster. It has some nice flowing corners, some fast straights, some sweepers, some slow corners. So it could be good, but I think the straights are and the high speed stuff may be too extensive, you know. So there could be a small problem with the regeneration. But yeah, but my last pick, not the best one because that's Toronto. I actually picked a home track of mine, and I went for Estoril because yeah, Portimao is all over the place. Portimao is now, I think, the most used racing facility in Portugal for motorbike race, for car racing, for whatever. So I think going to Estoril is still a proven facility. We have pit boxes. We have a good mix of slow corners, fast corners, long straights, small straights. You know, it could be also a good option for Formula E if they actually want to land in Portugal. And as a matter of fact, is actually much closer to Cascais, which is Antonio's hometown, that it is Portimao. Portimao is like 2 hours away from Cascais, so, and Estoril is like 20 minutes or whatever. So yeah, that would be a proper home track for Antonio.
Yeah, I was gonna say really. He can just get out of bed, stroll to the track, get it? Like, I have a question.
That's what they all do for Monaco.
Yeah, I have a question around your Estoril because my Portugal geography is terrible. So obviously the two big cities in Portugal are Porto and Lisbon. How close are those two tracks to those cities?
Estoril is right about Lisbon. It's like half an hour from Lisbon.
It's similar to Brands Hatch to London. Estoril is very similar to Brands Hatch to London. So
Okay.
Yeah, basically, it's on the whereabouts of Lisbon. So
Okay. And Estoril? Or was that Estoril?
Uh,
Portimao, sorry. It's in the Algarve.
Portimao is in the Algarve, so basically 2 hours, 2.5 hours from Lisbon.
But the Algarve is
so,
like a big
yeah.
holiday resort because when you hear people going on holiday to Portugal, where they go in the Algarve, right? So I feel like it's
yeah, the Algarve's best region to
I
go.
feel like it's and I assume the Algarve has like an airport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you land in Faro, and then
Yeah,
it's
So
about
I'm
an hour and a
assuming
half
I'm
from
assuming
there.
most like big major.
I went to
airports.
Albufeira for a week.
I've never
and,
been. I've never been
was
there. So
big.
have you been there, Pico?
Yeah, I went there
So
2019.
is it easy?
Lovely.
Is it
lovely.
assumingly it's easy to get to?
From the airport, it's a bit of a trek to get to.
Portimao.
To get to Portimao the city, but Portimao the city and Portimao the racetrack, there is about a 20-minute drive. It's a lot more inland, and the transport connections, as far as I'm aware, they aren't fantastic.
Because obviously F1's
But,
going there, and I'm sure F1. Obviously, I know we go to Silverstone and so forth, and that's terrible in the in the UK. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's just interesting because I think what people love about Formula E, especially me, right, and is how quickly you can get from the track to the airport because so many people fly back on the race day. So in Berlin, right, I'll get the 9 o'clock flight home, and I'll be I was Dan Tickton, Taylor Barnard, Sam Bird, all the presenting team, Jeff Dodds, were all on this flight back to London, right? And I think that's important is having tracks near airports or not far away from airports, so you can literally bish bash bosh go, because half these drivers have got another commitment, the next day. So I really do think so the fact that Estoril is half an hour from Lisbon, right, so maybe an hour from the airport, I'm just saying roughly, right, might be a bit more of a shout than Portimao, because if Portimao's not close to the airport, then Estoril's a bit closer to a city centre, then maybe Estoril, I think, therefore might have a good shout. I like the Estoril. I like Toronto as well. I like Toronto. These were the types of guesses that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually found on my Arlington and Alabama picks, there's just some issue with them. So it weren't my top picks, but I think if Formula E didn't have this problem of getting to the cars to regenerate almost every straight or something like that, I think both of them could be a problem because of the big straights, and actually with Arlington the bumps, because it's pretty bumpy and it would be pretty easy for drivers to get those consumption spikes that we saw last time. I think it was in Cape Town. I think it was Mitch Evans and Jake Dennis that did have to serve a drive-through penalty because of those spikes. So yeah, and Bob Motorsport Park, as I said, the back straights are a bit too big, I think, for this kind of racing. But as a track, both Arlington and Barber Motorsports Park are actually really good. But yeah, my top picks are there: Toronto and That's Real. Pick what you want.
Okay, sweet.
I like
All right.
I like them. I like those 2 picks a lot.
Right. Brilliant. Cheers, Ricardo. Have you got anything else, or are you happy with them?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right, we'll talk to you
Right.
later.
Brilliant.
Thank you so
Right.
much
Sure,
for
guys.
coming on. Absolute legend.
Yeah. Cheers.
I do
Right.
like Ricardo.
Right. So before we get anyone else on, I'll just because if you do want to come on and have a chat with us and pitch it to us, if you come on, you take priority over ones that are on the screen. But as we don't have any new people in the chat at the moment, we'll probably get. I know that we've got a couple old people coming back potentially, but whilst this happens, I will go. I will head to.
Basically, come and talk to us. We've
the
still got.
forums,
So let's
but,
hold on.
yeah.
Let's before we do that, let's just do a brief pause and go.
Yeah.
Right, this is the plan. So me and you are going to suggest
Right.
a track, right? So we're going to
We
suggest a track.
will suggest a chat
So
for
you're
about
going to
20,
so
20
past.
minutes time.
So I said
about
20
20, 25
past.
minutes.
So 20 minutes.
That's
time.
when the lines close completely,
Right.
so you won't be able to add any more after that. I will do a pitch, then Jack will do a pitch, and then the
then we'll
second
start.
vote will open.
Then we'll start
The
voting.
current vote, the top one, which is to keep or delete from the current calendar, that will remain open for another 15 minutes or so, and then when the second vote opens, I will reveal who is who is kept on the calendar and who is dropped for our potential season 13. Right?
Okay, so
Happy?
basically, if you're in chat, and I know there's a couple of you in chat, and you want to come and talk to us, and you've got an idea, it could just be a track no one's mentioned yet. It could be a really obvious track that no one's mentioned yet, and you think, no, I'm just gonna come on, I'm just gonna pitch. You don't even have to take the full 5 minutes because we could just discuss that option and deep dive it in a bit. But if you'd like to come on and you haven't yet, like, pop in. We've got 20 minutes, so we'll take some options now from chat. If you want to come on
Right.
and explain that option that we've heard, so let's say Pico says your option and you want to come and explain that a little bit, we're more than happy to have you before we take a few people before 20 past. Right, I'll let you go for it.
Right. So, I will go to David S because he was in the waiting room.
I was looking
but
forward to
he
hearing
couldn't.
from him.
Yeah, he couldn't sort out his mic. His microphone was still playing up, so unfortunately he's
Sorry,
out of it.
Dave.
But
We'd love to hear from you, though.
Thank
you for joining the Discord
thankfully,
first
David.
and foremost.
Yeah. Please do come back.
Do come
if you
back.
do,
Sort your mic out. We'd love to hear from
if
you.
you can. But yeah, he has pitched Surfers Paradise in New Zealand in Australia. Sorry, on the Gold Coast.
Is that Phillip Island?
No.
Different
Surfers
track.
Paradise is the street circuit in Brisbane.
Okay.
That V8 supercars. I think they still go to. As far as I think it's the Gold Coast 600 or something like that that they have over in V8 supercars.
I like an Australian track. I do. So Brisbane's a good city.
But yeah, and thankfully for David S, he's read the memo and done some handy descriptions for why this is a good circuit. So
Go
here
on,
is
up
the pitch. So
the date.
Surface Paradise. There hasn't been a Formula E race in Australia yet, so it's an obvious market. A co-headline with V8 Supercars, so V8 Supercars do still go there, and it's Gold Coast 500, not 600. I got that wrong. So one race on Saturday, then leave Sunday for the Gold Coast 500. May not be a natural collab from the net zero viewpoint, but can argue that the track is already being set up. So one set of marshals travelled, so that's good. And it goes back to what we had with Detroit earlier, the collaboration with potentially another series. And with the eyeballs from bigger series, it might generate a bit more interest for our series. So that that makes sense. It's a very Formula E vibe, and they could probably handle the curves. I'm thinking of that slalom on the back straight that they always do, and they're always up on two wheels, whichever way they go. And I think that would be quite interesting. It's October on the current V8 calendar and could pair with the rest
I feel
of
like
the
October's
Oceanic
too
schedule.
early, though, isn't it? It's too early.
I think that they should go back to September to June, to be honest. But
even that's not a lot of. So just July and August. It's only a 2-month off season.
Yeah.
And you
but
got
it's
to do
what they
pre-season.
had.
You got to do pre-season within that as well.
What they had in season 1 and season 2. So
Yeah, but the cars were very much basic babies, weren't they?
Yeah.
They're not basic babies anymore.
Yeah. And he believes that major street circuits like this could work. So yeah, going to these main street circuits around the world. If Peloton races continue, not convinced that permanent layouts are good. That's the thing that we need to factor in with Gen 4, because we don't really know what the race is going to be like. Hopefully it goes back to sort of what we had in Gen 2, because Gen 2 was really fun, and Gen 3's, I mean, I haven't liked it, but I'm not sure about everyone else. But yeah, so that is the pitch for Surface Paradise. Jack,
Thank
any
you,
questions?
David. I liked it. I like the idea. I'm assuming Brisbane has an airport. I don't my Australian geography.
Yeah.
So I would somehow fly to Brisbane.
Do you watch I'm a Celebrity?
Is it done in Brisbane?
That's where the hotel is. The hotel is in Brisbane.
Yeah.
It's on the Gold Coast.
So do they? I don't know how you'd fly to Brisbane. Though, do you have to fly to Perth and then fly to Brisbane, or fly to Melbourne? And
no, you can fly straight to. Well, I mean, I wouldn't do a straight run
You'd have to stop
Australia.
in Singapore.
Yeah, I'd. Well, when I went to Jakarta, I stopped in Qatar, and I'm glad I'm not doing that at the moment. We'll park that.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I know that people stop in like Malaysia or Singapore, and then and then go from there.
But you know, like if it was British Airways, I don't know. I'm just always like people fly United if it was America or British Airways or whatever. So I'm just thinking, where are those direct flight routes to get to Brisbane?
Yeah.
Because obviously I know you can fly to Sydney, right? So you'd stop off and you'd fly to Sydney and so forth. But I just don't know what the interwebs of flying to Australia to get to Brisbane are. Brisbane has its own airport, says Chris. I assume it does. Yeah. So it's just making sure there's enough international.
Every major city in Australia has an airport, because no one in their right mind would drive. I mean, like, even to get from Melbourne to Sydney, I mean, like, that's a small part of Australia, and that's a 6-hour drive, if not more. If you want to drive from one end of Australia, if you want to drive from Perth to Sydney, it would take about 4.5 days non-stop to drive that far, because Australia is so massive.
I'm just going to message here because I've never seen Dave Scott before on our channel. So welcome in, Dave.
That's Dave S.
Is it Dave S? No, Dave S comes in. I think Dave S is Creature Sanity 1786. He says, "I want to join, but my place is too noisy." Unless that is Dave Scott, and that's a different person. It's only because that he mentioned.
It would make sense because it says Dave S on here, and that's a Dave.
If it is Dave, if it is Dave Scott, so if that is
if
Dave
there's
Scott,
two Dave S's,
oh my god, there's two Dave S's. That's amazing.
Huge.
But anyway, so he says, why can't the calendar be from Jan to December? I think they really want to take advantage of no Formula One.
The off season.
They really want to take advantage of that. They've never really done No, this is David S. Okay, hi David S. And
Hey,
whoever
okay,
Creature Sanity is, hi as well. Don't know who you are, but hello. He wanted to join, but his place is too noisy, so it's like that's absolutely fine. That's why you can send in your pitch online. So if you've sent in your pitch on the QR code, we might be able to read out. So get your pitch in really quickly if you haven't done so already. I've lost where I was going to go with it. I like the idea of it. It's just the logistics, and this is what Jeff Dodd said when we spoke to him about. He said Australia is a long way to go, right? And you've got to get You've got to get it right. So that's
100%.
my only thing is that. Is there any more pictures that we have?
Yeah, I'll go through the ones that have got full pictures to it. Otherwise,
for that.
Otherwise, I'm just listing circuits that people have put on. So yeah, I believe this one comes from Jody. But Jody,
our friend Jody.
Jody in the Discord.
Yes, I mean our friend Jody.
Yeah. Yes.
Hello, Jody.
Yeah, I've checked. She's apparently with family, so understand.
It's okay. It's Mother's Day today in the UK.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we should have left this till after Madrid, but well.
We've
done it
one.
anyways. Yeah.
We could always do another one.
So, Salford Quay / Media City Ypres, so Manchester basically. And Jody has put a layout in the chat about where to go around Manchester. I did a Manchester one a while ago, but it was around the Etihad.
Okay.
But yeah, because I found that there was a bit more space there. But yeah, could make use of the tram lines to create a layout and use the big plaza next to the Media City tram stop as the fan village and paddock. Pros also include the BBC and ITV studios are right there, so plenty of news coverage and lots of universities in the area, so media opportunities for students and chances for collaboration. Just outside Manchester, which has transport links right across the UK. It's gone. Need to scroll down. Sorry. Transport links right across the UK and internationally, so it will be very easy to get to. Also, plenty of hotels and food places in the area for people to stay and eat. Also, things tend to be cheaper up north, and so everyone wouldn't have to sell their kidneys to be there. I will make a map, and that map is in the Discord. !Discord in chat if you are not in it already, and it is in the How the FE Bar Works channel.
I like it, but I don't like it because I would raise you the Olympic Park in London, where I believe the London Ypres should be.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a look, and so about the layout that Jody's kind of gone for, and my worry is that the streets here are too narrow. There is one bit where it gets to just about wide enough, and then that's just for one corner, and then it gets to kind of like the narrow bit again. But I think the fact that it's like a genuine, like,
I like that she's thought about it.
City,
I like
that
she's thought about it. You know, where the paddock's gonna be, and it kind of has that London type vibe where everything's kind of squished together and everyone's in the same place. I kind of like that, right? So I do think that's positive.
Yeah. Right. So, should we put it in, or should?
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it in.
Mate, every option has to go in, really.
Yeah, realistic. Yeah,
I would call it the Manchester Ypres rather than Salford.
Yeah. If we can, if the Madrid Ypres is going to be called the Madrid Ypres this weekend, that can be called Manchester.
Yeah.
Because that is closer to Manchester than the Madrid circuit is to actual Madrid. It's still not that far. It's just about 20 kilometers north.
Yeah.
It's again, it's similar to what Brands Hatch is to London. It's no different, really. I'm just going through. Right. Some other recommendations. Adelaide. there's only a single continent Formula E hasn't raced in, excluding Antarctica, and that's Oceania. What better way to introduce the series into the region than the famous street circuit venue at Adelaide? A former Formula One host and current host of the Australian Supercars Championship, there's steeped history at the venue and one that sees tens of thousands attend yearly.
Who's
Just
going
over
to
2
Adelaide
months.
lately? Who's announced they're going to Adelaide?
MotoGP.
I thought it was
MotoGP
MotoGP.
are going to Adelaide over Phillip Island, which is absolute insanity. But yeah, just over 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers. The circuit length is ideal, with the nature of the circuit conducive to the energy demands of Formula E. With some adjustments to the circuit, techno barriers, it should easily make the safety requirements for the series, especially if MotoGP are going there. With favourable weather in the early part of the typical Formula E season, it would host a potential season opener. I agree with every single point. Very well
Who said
very
Adelaide?
well educated. I don't know. No one's put names apart from David, and I just know that Jody put Manchester because I saw it in chat. But yeah, no, that's a good one.
Who put Adelaide? Raise your hand in chat. If it was you. Might have to resubmit if that's okay. So Chris might resubmit his. Well, come and talk to us, Chris.
Someone has put the Madrid, which is the new circuit in Madrid, but has basically said Jarama would have to go on. And I think I'd assume that's why they're going to Jarama anyways. They're going to Jarama to set up to go to the Madrid, the Madrid afterwards.
You think?
I would have thought so, yeah. I mean, if it's there, we might as well.
I don't think they are.
I'd
rather Formula E go to Barcelona. That's why I'm in the video.
I was just seeing if anyone's done any other huge kind of monologues in here, because the monologues get priority.
Well, Chris is reading his pitch.
Yeah.
Which, we'll give him a couple of seconds. I don't know if you want to take any calls, if you want to bring someone back.
I will do shortly.
It's 9:12.
Someone has said Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, good pick for Gen 4.
Yeah, I'd stick that one down. I'd put that in the
season 3, and that needs to change. I'm
interested
just
to see how many people pick that. Say
what else?
Toronto or something for Canada.
Right. The other ones on here, I'll just rattle through them. Someone's put Kailami. We got Long Beach, Hampton Downs in Auckland, New Zealand.
Long Beach and Kailami, I'd put down.
Yeah.
I know we're just chucking out names here, but
yeah, full Shanghai. Yes,
we don't know
no.
how Gen 4, but Shanghai's already on the calendar, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Shanghai's on the calendar anyways.
So that could be Shanghai, innit?
Yeah. Like I said, Valencia's on there as well from earlier. Someone said Zandvoort. Someone's put a calendar out. Just run through the ones that aren't on the official calendar. Sepang, Istanbul Park, Balaton Park, which is the Hungarian MotoGP track, Interlagos, which would I assume replace Sao Paulo.
That was Jesper. Jesper straight away said Sao Paulo.
Kota, and Zandvoort again. Then someone said Donny, which absolutely fair.
A lot of suggestions, considering.
Yeah. Someone said Phillip Island. Someone said the old Detroit, the Belle Isle circuit, and Singapore, the Marina Bay street circuit.
I can also see that as something that could have been done. Chris said if Chris wanted to come in and say his, I know you said you haven't actually thought about it, but if you want to come on, do come in. We'll give you 30 seconds to try and get yourself on in the waiting room.
Yeah. While we do that, should we get Mazur or maybe Enemy back on?
Yeah, I was just concerned about time, but yeah.
Actually, while we do this,
so we'll just see if Chris can. If not, then we will.
Let's just say, right.
Let's just say.
How do I do this? Because I want to close the vote. I want to close
you're
this
closing the vote one.
Right.
Yeah. In that time, Chris has managed to get himself in. So I will bring Chris into the chat. Hello, Chris. How are you? I'll talk to you, Chris, while he sorts himself out. Hopefully you can hear me and so forth. and they give you
I
a couple of extra
cannot
seconds.
shut it. So, Jack, all I want you to do is go from 3-person view to 2-person view.
Yes.
And then that'll do. So the vote is now closed. Thank you for voting for the last 75 minutes or so. All your votes have been counted, and we will reveal later
And
on
verified,
in the show.
apparently.
Verified. Yeah, and verified. Well, they will be verified in a bit when I have a look at them. And we will reveal in about 15-20 minutes time which circuits stay from the current calendar onto the new one. In the meantime, Chris,
can you hear
hello.
us? Can you talk? Because my worry is that he hasn't actually said anything. So therefore, he might not be able to get his mic to work, and he's gone into deafen mode trying this. So he's trying to fix his situation. He's undeafened. We're now praying to God that he can speak. It's all one of this, isn't it? It's always the way, right? You get on Discord, you pop in, it's your chance to speak. At Discord, they've changed all the settings, and now you got to change all the settings, get it all right, and go from there. If Chris can't speak, then we can get one of the others in. We'll give him a couple of seconds, and if not, then
by all means, Chris, drop you back down, and you do sort it out, and you do see that green circle, which means that you are able to talk. Then do let us know in chat, and then we will drag you back in.
Should we get May Benny? I think we should get May Benny in, because I think Mazror we had a good chat with, and I think if we get May in, then I think all will go well.
Right. Hello.
May Benny, welcome back. If you have another track that you'd like to pitch for potentially the final pitch before we reveal our picks, what would it be?
I would have to go, and it's a real shot in the dark one. It's very different. I would say Bristol Motor Speedway.
Is that an oval?
Okay.
That's an oval. It's a very short oval. It's a very short oval. However, I've always thought of it could genuinely be like a non-championship round or something. Just because I've always wanted to see if electric cars would even work on an oval, and I think Gen 4 is the first real electric racing car with any capacity that would even have a chance of ever being viable oval. And ABB have worked with NASCAR to sort of trial EV stock cars. I think like I said, it's very much a shot in the dark, but it's like the sort of something different, something new. Give it a shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I understand it wouldn't work whatsoever, because think the Formula 1 cars at this precise moment, right, where they've got the boost and so forth, and how quickly the battery will die, basically. A Formula E car will not last many laps at all around the oval before it dies, right? So you probably look. I'm gonna go out there and I'm just gonna say 10 laps. I don't even know if it'd do 10 laps round the oval, and I don't think it would be much of a spectacle. So for that reason, I just think an oval, it wouldn't work. And even in the future, like, I don't even know in the future, like, if an oval would ever work for Formula E, because pit boost, and you could charge for 30 seconds, and could that get you back to a full charge in 30 seconds in the future? Who knows? Or a minute, right? But then, how many laps would they be able to do of Indianapolis before they have to pit again? And I'm like, I think we need those braking zones, and I just think, like, Daytona might be interesting because you've got a bit of a mix. You've got a bit of the oval section, and you've got a chicane, and you've got some turns where they'll have to actually, put the brakes on and so forth to regenerate. So maybe Daytona. I know Daytona's quite a big track, and obviously we went to Hard Rock, and obviously that had a lot of long straights, even in the infield section. But that was arguably one of the most peloton type races we ever had, and we only had 26 laps around there. So I get your point, but I just think a pure oval just would never ever work. But yeah, in terms of a spectacle, but then you'd be like, oh well, the race is over in 8 laps, and it's like, and you'd be like, oh, was it actually really worth it? Probably not.
That's fair. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I've always joked I'd quite like to see Formula E do the Indy 50 instead of 500, but because we wouldn't be able to do 500, but we could. I reckon
distance in the Wienermobiles. I mean,
I reckon that Formula E could do the Indy 50, but yeah, I think that even then, I just don't think,
How many laps?
especially
10. How does they do 200?
it would
So 20
be
laps.
20 laps. Yeah.
yeah, 20 laps. I don't think.
10%.
I don't
I mean,
think
look,
because
doing 23 on
Indianapolis-
the weekend, so
Indianapolis is just completely flat out. It would never work.
Yeah.
I think the only way is Bristol or Martinsville. The only ones you really have heavy braking zones
Texas
in
is
an
quite
oval.
small
So,
as well. Oval. I think Texas Motor Speedway is quite a small oval.
Yeah.
High
high banking though, you don't brake as much.
Yeah. So I like the suggestion. I like that it's out there. I just don't think it would work, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gold Coast, and there's someone snuck in before me.
Yeah, well, you know.
yeah,
That's why we said 3
some,
to 5
yeah.
ideas, because you know, most fans are alike in it. They go, that's the one, potentially. Right, but Bemi, thank you so much for coming on and saying that. Chris, we think, has sorted his mic out, so we're gonna bring him in to go forward. But thank you very much for coming back on again.
Thank you so much.
Right, let's hear from the main man that is Chris. Chris,
Right,
welcome
Chris.
into the show. Hopefully you can hear us, and hopefully you can hear us on your phone.
Yeah, let's try again.
Hello, let's do this.
What's that? Right, well, I know Jack's already mentioned it, because obviously I've typed it in the form, but
Go.
tell you what, I'll go for my out pocket one, which is the Hampton Downs one in New Zealand.
But everyone loves New Zealand. So where's Hampton Downs then? Because this one, the Highlands Eat Motorsport Park, was in the middle of nowhere. Where's this one?
It's one that's been on my mind for a while, actually, because it's the closest New Zealand circuit, I think, to a big city. It's about 45 minutes outside of Auckland.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's sort of halfway between Auckland and Hamilton. Sorry, I'm just looking up on here. Go for it.
Oh, fair enough. No, it's 3.8 kilometers, so it's about the right length for probably Gen 4. Really, it's slightly longer than Jamara.
Yep.
I can never pronounce that one correctly. I know it's Kamara, but
apparently I got criticised for how I said it in the video.
we can't pronounce it because it's the Spanish, and I can't do it. But 3.8 kilometers. It's quite a few regeneration zones, and I think it could be a very interesting track for Formula E, especially with the regen, especially that turn 1 with given how wide it is.
Yep.
No, I say
these interesting because these tracks I don't really know a lot about. So for me, for it to work, I'm like, okay, 45 minutes from Auckland isn't too bad, I suppose. At least we could try and at least get back to the airport to try and fly home. We probably wouldn't do that. You'd probably fly home the next day anyway from Auckland because it's such a long journey. But it's really interesting that fans want to see a race in New Zealand, because what is the time in New Zealand right now? I think it's like 8:30 in the morning or 10:30 in the morning in Auckland right now.
Yeah,
So-
it will be something like that. Yeah.
So it's okay. So the problem with New Zealand is, when do you do this race? Because so if you're doing this race on a Saturday in New Zealand, Saturday lunchtime, you're doing this race, let's say Friday, so the race would be at 2:00 in the morning on a Friday, right, in the UK, let's say. Like, it could be something as incredible as that. So I think the problem with New Zealand is and I know I'm talking about the UK, but even for the US, right? So if you're in LA, and there's a 20-hour time difference, right? So if it's 2 o'clock in the morning on a
20-hour time difference isn't too bad. It's more kind of
Yeah.
like in Europe when we're like 20-hour time difference would be bliss because it would be about the same time anyways.
well,
when
it'd
it's
be about the same time, but the other day, so it'd be Friday like
but
5 o'clock.
It's fine.
I suppose
It's
Friday
fine.
5 p.m.
Friday 5 o'clock is brilliant.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say
fine
that's
with me.
perfect time.
Perfect time. Friday
It's
5
literally
o'clock.
the start of the Jeddah Pre.
But then,
Like,
I suppose Friday 5 o'clock is not the end of the world. For Europe, it would be through the middle of the night. And
yeah,
then,
it will be
and then
2 p.m.
and then late night Friday. So it would work well for the American audience. Not so much Europe, and then the Middle Eastern areas maybe a little bit better. Might be very early morning on the Saturday. Might be the same as a. So it's just working on the timings. I think for it wouldn't be great for us as much as I think a lot of people would love to see. A race in New
Can I
Zealand.
turn my head though? Because we've got the 2 Chinese and the Japan. Well, obviously the former timing of the Japanese is obviously it's night races now, which is a better time for us.
Yes.
But say we seem to be. I know, obviously, in reality, there's kind of. I know population-wise, there's a lot more population. Actually, saying that, obviously, I don't know if Formula E is broadcast in China, but if it is and is popular, they probably would get more eyes on the sport in China and America than it would do in Europe.
Yeah, I suppose. It's like we know we have a solid European fan base. Let's make this work for the other fan bases where it might not work so much throughout the race. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the time zones in New Zealand are less of an issue than I think it is. So yeah.
Yeah.
And let's say I know people get up for the Australian F1. I got up for it, and
I'll be honest. I only got up for that
didn't.
because it was first race of a brand new regulation cycle. If it was like third race of the year, I would not have bothered.
I watched it. I watched it. What was it? It was on again at 7 o'clock in the morning. I watched it.
7 o'clock in the morning,
5 to 8, something like that.
Yeah, so I watched it.
Yeah. They did a replay of it, but yeah, I think that's kind of very much like, oh yeah, it doesn't work for me, but actually, I think we need to be opening up these markets to New Zealand, Australia, and obviously you've got to feel for them because they have to get up pretty much
Yep.
at 4 a.m. for whatever race they want to watch.
Yep. 100%. Nope, for sure.
So yeah, to be fair, that's my argument. I haven't thought too much about it, but that's always been the track I'd love to have seen them go down. Is Hampton Downs.
Okay. No, I like it. I like that New Zealand's getting some love. I like that because then it's like another reason for me to go. But I think that is. You know what I've learnt from this show, Pico? I think I've learnt from the show is that fans want a race in Oceania, despite Formula E potentially not wanting a race in Oceania. The fans want one.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I think I've learned from the show. Chris, I'm going to say thank you for coming on and giving us your time because we're going to press on now with our picks and then closing the votes and wrapping up the show.
No worries. Can't wait to hear them.
Yeah, right. We'll see you later.
See you later.
Cool, so it's 9:28. We're 8 minutes behind schedule, but I think that's fine because I could probably wrap mine up in less than 5 minutes.
I think it's fine. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. I need to find mine.
I love how you told me before the show, right? You need to think of one. And I was like, well, I did do a video, so I could pick one of them, and I might pick one of them. But I'm interested to see what yours is because I feel like you've put a lot of effort into this, and I'm just gonna laugh at it.
Right.
I'm just gonna go, you idiot.
No. Right. Okay. So it's time for my pitch now.
Pico's pitch, everybody. Brought to
I
you
will
by
set 5 minutes on the clock and probably be under because I think everyone's gone
by
under
Manscaped.
today.
I don't know why.
Manscaped.
I don't know. I just found something that was.
I mean, yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I don't.
Other products.
Really, I mean, I should, but I don't.
It's not sponsored.
But, yeah. Right. Okay. So 5 minutes on my clock starts now, and my location is it's a country that we've been to before in Formula E once, and I feel like we should go back considering that we
Please
have
don't say
one
Russia.
team. No. no. Yeah. I'm going.
To the Moscow Hebrew.
God no, not at the moment. No,
Just trying to think where we've been once.
no.
Go on.
because we have one team from that country and one team who's basically owned by that country, and that is India. I think India desperately needs to be on the Formula E calendar because it's such a huge market, and Hyderabad, it didn't really work out. But for Formula E, there is a circuit which is about half an hour outside of Chennai called the Madras Motorsport Circuit or something like that, and it's just under 4 kilometers in length. But I genuinely think that it's a solid kind of track that Formula E could go to in Gen 4. I mean, the circuit doesn't look hugely up to date, but I reckon that. I mean, like, look, we take tents to most of these venues, so why can't we rock up and use that? And that's been my thing with, like, when people say, like, oh, brands that doesn't have the infrastructure. We rock up in tents half of these weeks, but so I don't understand why they don't have the infrastructure when clearly they do. But for me, India is definitely a location that Formula E needs to get back to, and for me, the Chennai. It would be the Chennai Prix, but the Madras International Circuit is what it's called. I've just had to look it up, but it's located about 30 minutes outside of Chennai, and so Mahindra and Jaguar both deserve to have a home race out there, and so that is why I would select that. It's very kind of like medium speed circuit. There isn't a huge amount of there are probably 3 to 4 braking zones around the circuit that would be good for regen, but that's why for me I'd say that I feel like that's our best option because it's next to a big city and it's in a country where I think Formula E should be focusing on getting back to.
What about, I'm sure Formula 1 went to New Delhi, right?
Formula 1 went to New Delhi, but it's like 30 minutes outside of the circuit. And do we really want to do a 1.2 kilometer long straight?
Was it 1.2 kilometers?
Yes.
Because I remember it having the chicanes and so forth.
Yeah, so it was very much a Herman Tilke modern day track. You had the Sector 1, which was
a long
huge straight line areas. You had Sector 2, which was tight and twisty like a street circuit. Then you had Sector 3, which was the mid speed corners. And it's basically what happened in every single track. I mean, like, you went to Korea, that was basically the exact same. It's definitely something that
because how would we get there? I assume it has an airport, but again, like, if I was to
Chennai Airport.
So
Chennai Airport.
Can you get them? Can you fly there from major international airports?
I'd assume so. Yeah, I'd assume so. I mean, I can look up London to Chennai flights.
Because to me, that's the most important thing. Like, you've got to be able to fly there. Right, you can't fly to Delhi and then get a coach, or fly to Delhi and then fly to Mumbai and fly. I don't know the geography, right? So for me, that's my question mark around
right. So yes, you can get there, but it's a connecting flight through connection through Abu Dhabi, which is a major connection point.
Okay, it's not too bad.
So.
And is that with British Airways or is that with, like, Qatar
Airways? Etihad.
I've never flown Etihad, but
it's a major airline.
You can get Etihad out of Heathrow, I'm assuming, so to Abu Dhabi and then Abu Dhabi there. So I suppose that would work. All right. I'm just flying differently. I'm just thinking about how I'm getting there. Because I think because everybody has to get there, so it's one of those. And you don't want it to be too complicated. I like it. I think India. Yeah. You're right. I think it does need, and we know it's a market Formula E over Australia. They'd rather be in India than Australia, right? So if they can find an Indian race, because there's 1.8 billion, like a quarter of quarter, that's wrong, but nearly a quarter of, the world's population is in India. So obviously, yeah, I think it's a huge market to try and get EVs, and we know the smog and stuff that we can find in India. So in terms of an area where they want to really push EVs, I think, yeah, for sure, India is a good market. Are you finished, or is it my go?
Yes, yeah, I am finished. So it's time for your option. I will say tonight there are quite a few options that I could have. I've got 3 to 5 still, kind of like ready to go. But like,
well, I did
yeah.
a video, and if you haven't watched the video, go watch the video.
Yeah.
I'm sure
yeah.
most of the people in here have watched the video, and to be honest with you, that video, I'm really happy with the engagement that we got in comments wise and likes wise. So that was really good, because yeah, we as a channel at this precise moment, we're definitely focusing on the engagements. And we're gonna say this once as well. If you do love what we do, and you're not a member, and you would like to support us, you can become a member. As well, it just helps us out. It gets us to races. We'll be in Madrid. I brought a new tripod. You know why I brought a new tripod? Right? It's because we should be interviewing, hopefully, Al Bilal in Madrid. Everybody's secrets, right? But Pico's not there, so how am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to film twice, right? So I need 2 tripods to set up to do the filming. So that's gonna be fun.
I have no money.
Yeah, but that's going to be fun. But it just helps with stuff like that and so forth. So we've got the equipment. So even though, it's just me flying out there, then, we can... And then we're not killing our own bank accounts too much. And it all helps. But anyway, so my pick.
Right.
So if you watch the video, you'll know I picked... There was 4 tracks I thought that would be really good. Barcelona, Dubai. And I went with Montreal, Gilles Villeneuve. And I went with Buenos Aires, which is a bit of an out there one. But I honestly believe...
I would say Montreal's, or I've put Montreal in. Someone suggested
I honestly believe that Formula E need to make sure that they do not renew the agreement with Saudi Arabia. I know they are funded by Saudi Arabia, but if we're talking sexy cities, and I've always talked about sexy cities, you've got to race in Dubai. Dubai is a sexy city. It's a modern, sexy city. And to say that we race in Dubai, well, where are we going to next? Dubai. It just sounds cool, right? And it's not that far from major airports. It's not that far from the city centre. You could get a cab, 25 minutes from the city centre to the thing. I know obviously at this precise moment the world conflicts and things are going on, but we've got a bit of time anyway, and hopefully the conflict by then will be over. I think we have in January they have the 24 hours at Dubai with the GT3s and GT4s, and you've got options on the table. That could be another night race. It could be another night race. The infrastructure's there for a night race, and they race Saturday, Sunday. So you could have that Saturday, Sunday as well. You don't have to have the Friday, Saturday thing. I honestly think that you're missing a trick by not going to Dubai or not considering it, because I know the Middle East isn't the best place in the world politically and how it's run. I understand that, but Formula E race in like Abu Dhabi, we go to Qatar, we go to Saudi Arabia. We're already in these places, right? And we're trying to, and they've got the money and they want the tourism, and Dubai gets a lot of tourism anyway. But it's just like, when I honestly believe that when we look at the calendar, or when I used to look at the calendar, a Manchester E-Prix, I'll be honest with you, it gives me couldn't care one bit. Right, because it does not interest me. It's not an interesting city. I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry, Manchester.
I think Manchester is actually fine, to be fair.
But for me, it's not.
There are worse venues that have been suggested tonight. There are way worse venues than suggested.
100%. But like some of them were a bit meh, like that's just pointless. But Manchester was a good one. But for me, it's like, no, you don't want to be in Manchester. You want to be in London. We want to be in Berlin. Like the Nürburgring idea was terrible idea, right? Berlin needs to be the home of Formula E, right? And we just use that Tempelhof Airport to make whatever track we need to suit the car because we've got the space and you've got the facilities. It is ridiculous that anything else is considered in Germany because Berlin is that sexy city, it's that capital city. Rome, we've lost. Paris, we lost. We don't want to lose Tokyo. Like, we don't want to all that effort to get Tokyo and then to lose it because the Gen 4 car can't race there. It feels like, well, what was the future planning? You knew what the Gen 4 car was going to be, right? We need sexy cities because when you look at the calendar and if you start going, what is going to make a generic fan go, oh yeah, I want to watch the Manchester E-Prix. Oh yeah, I want to watch the Bologna E-Prix.
Right, I will say Manchester gets them. Yeah, Manchester would be fine because there are lots of people like abroad who want to see Manchester because of United and City.
Maybe, but like, does it make you wake up? It's like Phoenix, right? They want to go to Phoenix. You know, of all the places, Phoenix. Why? Why do you want to go to Phoenix? I don't care. Go to Los Angeles. Go to Washington. Go to Chicago. Go somewhere which is a cool American city. A place where you could have a bit of a holiday, do a bit. What's in Phoenix? It's a desert. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, right? You want to go to places which makes you want to go there. You want to actually, right, I want to go to Dubai E-Prix. I'm going to make a holiday out of it, and I'll go there. I want to go to the Detroit E-Prix because I can make a holiday out of it, right? So to me, that's why I think Dubai has to be an option, and I'll put Dubai forward.
Right, there we go. Right, okay. So we have our list. There are, believe it or not, 27 options to choose from what was suggested tonight, all of which from in
27?
most of which came from the 27 options. You need to choose your top 5, and then and then
you've sent me something, but I had lost your camera for 2 seconds.
So you need to download that.
So I need
that
to.
on
so
the
hold on then.
screen.
Let me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go into the be right. I'm just going to be right back screen because we'll be right back. I've just got to
we
download.
will be back shortly with the results of the first vote. Yeah.
I'm just going to save this image, but what do you want me to do with it?
So put it where the vote 1 screen was earlier.
Okay. Hold on.
Are we gonna have to do this whilst on air?
I can potentially do it while we're on air. I'm gonna go back to the free cam. I'm gonna transition to the free. I don't know if I get it. So I'm gonna. But you're not on camera.
Chris, let's be real. No one wants to go to Dubai at the moment.
Not at the moment, but the thing in 2027. So as I said, we've got a bit of time, but it's just changing it, right? So hold on, let me do this. I reckon I can do this very quickly.
Wrong one.
No, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Right. I have now done it, and then you should be appearing back on your screen. There we go. We did it. I did it. All
lovely.
Done.
So the second vote is now open. Now this vote will be open for, I believe, another 17 minutes. This vote closes at the top of the hour. So as far as I'm aware, you won't be able to vote beyond. So yeah, 16 minutes time, which is at 10 o'clock. That vote will close. We will then announce the remaining countries. But are we ready for the first vote results?
Yes, boss.
Right.
I feel like we should have some music for this.
Yeah.
I'll just put Nick at 9.
Yeah, suspenseful music now. Here we go. So the first vote.
Okay, thank you.
So the first vote earlier on was for you to decide whether you want to keep or delete tracks from the current calendar for to keep onto to go onto the season 13 calendar. Those went from Sao Paulo at the start of the season to Tokyo at the end of the season. We omitted London because we know that the XL venue is not good enough for Gen 4. So I will now go in order from the start of the season, which is Sao Paulo, to Tokyo, and reveal which countries, which venues.
Hold on. I have a
from-
question. So how do we know
Yeah.
what was the threshold for it not counting?
So basically, it's whether which had more votes, keep or delete.
So top 5. Are we to picking how many?
No. So there are 10 options,
Yep.
and then
So how many?
depending
can we
on
lose?
whether it's kept or so we could lose all of them.
Oh, okay.
We could lose all of them here and now. We could keep all 10,
Okay.
and then the amount that we have, we subtract that from 16, and that's how many of the new venues are going to get on your Gen 4 calendar. Have we all started to understand this? Just the 105 minutes into the stream.
Yep. We get there. Choose
Brilliant.
5 to keep.
Good.
Choose 5.
Right. So I will start at the start of the season and work down. So the season opener this year was Sao Paulo. The fans have voted to keep Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo remains on the calendar for season 13. Wow, that's our first venue.
So we go to Sao
Huge.
Paulo. Hello, Tobias.
Yeah.
I'd
The
like
second,
to talk to Tobias, actually.
yeah. I mean, if we
About
can get into
Berlin.
Phil after the, if we can get into Phil after the voting bit, that'd be great. Right. So yeah, Toby, if you want to pop in chat, then you can come up after I've done my big go through all the votes. That'd be great. Move on to Mexico City. Mexico City will stay on the Formula E calendar, and I can reveal that was 100% keep from everyone who voted
Really?
tonight. So everyone said keep Mexico City on the calendar.
Some people got
Which is
rid
huge.
of Sao Paulo. That's interesting.
I think that's one or two.
Okay,
Well,
interesting.
one or two
Interesting.
people said get rid of
Interesting.
Sao Paulo. We now move to Miami, which was the third round of the season.
This gets dropped, doesn't it?
Miami will not be on the fans' Gen 4 calendar.
Really?
It was
Wow.
very close. 8 said delete, 6 said keep. That's how close it was at the end. Yeah, so Miami is dropped from next year's calendar. We move on to Jeddah, rounds 4 and 5 of the season. Jeddah will stay on the calendar.
Yeah.
So-
Good event.
Yeah. Now move on to Madrid. It's making its debut this weekend. And the fans have said, even though they haven't seen a wheel turned, they want to see it again.
They want to see
It
it.
stays on the... Yeah. Yeah. Right. Berlin.
It's got to be kept.
Berlin does stay on the calendar.
Had to stay.
Are we enjoying the suspense, or do I need to
I
speed
don't
it
know.
up?
Maybe speed up a little bit. We still got to do the other votes, and
Well, yeah, but that vote isn't going to be closed for another
Right.
12 minutes. Right. Monaco will stay on the calendar.
this is like a Champions League draw. It's like
Yeah,
ball 5 is
yeah.
Monaco.
It's the suspense. This is the closest I'm ever getting to a Eurovision presenter. This is me announcing what countries are going through from the semi-final.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to get this high again. Right, Sanya returning to the calendar this
It's
year
not.
for the first year since season 5, and the fans have decided
No.
not to keep it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah. So Sanya will not be on the fans' Gen 4 calendar. Shanghai. Oh, we've just seen a Formula 1 race there not even 12 hours ago. But do we want to see it in Formula E? The fans have said, yes, keep Shanghai into Gen...
You have to. For
into
the
Gen
Chinese
4.
market.
Yeah. Which means that the last one is Tokyo, as we said earlier. London is not counted because they don't. It's not good enough to. It's not safe enough to have Gen 4 cars race round the London XL, and Tokyo. Just like Mexico City, it's 100%. Everyone said keep Tokyo. So Tokyo will be on the calendar. So a recap. Staying on the calendar is Shanghai, Mexico, Jeddah, Madrid, Berlin, Monaco, Shanghai, and Tokyo. And we have dropped Sanya and Miami.
So how many races
Now,
have we got? So how many locations?
We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means that the top 8 of the second vote will join those ones for the fans Gen 4 calendar, and we'll do like a nice graphic after the stream, which shows
Really?
what. Yeah, I'll get on that. I'll get on that. Don't worry.
Impressive.
Yeah. I'll make a graphic. It might just be an Excel. But yeah, we'll see. So yes. So that second vote is still open. You can vote using the QR code, and yeah, you've got about 9 minutes left to vote on that. And yeah, we've now got 9 minutes to fill. I can just go through the results if you want. I'm not going to single out people.
We'll leave that. We can talk Madrid.
Yeah, Madrid. Okay, go on.
Talk Madrid as we'll talk Formula E for 9 minutes. Because I think we should. Right, Madrid E3. Obviously, we're going. I'm flying out Thursday night. So I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and I'll be there for the Sunday. I'm delighted that Juju Noda's back. If you know, you know. Well, Peter's probably the only one that knows, really.
Yeah.
But
massive crush.
I don't know.
I'm joking.
It wasn't a massive crush, but I don't know. It was just.
It's the numbers.
It's the numbers. It's a numbers game. I'm actually...
I've never seen this man so hyped for a rookie test than when it wasn't the female test. It was the women's test. Yeah. Then when he found out who Juju Noda was.
I didn't even know Juju Noda was. By the time I left Valencia,
you did not know.
Favorite driver. Followed him on Instagram. I like all the posts. I don't, but it's funny. I'm actually looking forward to Madrid. I don't know what to expect. I'm actually really looking to walking the track on Friday, and then I realise it's a long. How long is the track walk? Would you say? Because I'm thinking that I will make a track video. Because obviously, when I was in Miami, I made a track video.
Oh, I've just realised I put Rome twice on the vote.
Never mind. We'll add them up.
I will pick whichever. Yeah, I'll either add them up.
No problems. No.
What if someone votes for Rome twice? Then that gets it, because you can vote up to 5 times. I've now made it so someone can vote for 2 venues.
Oh well.
Oh god.
There's always a bit of corruption in this, isn't it? There's always a bit of corruption.
Do you know what? What I'll do is I'll take the. I will take like the highest number, then I'll times it by like 1.5 or something, and then that will be.
Toby is in the waiting room.
Toby's here. Oh, brilliant.
I'm gonna go, but then if I go into 2 screen because I want to get his lower third up, because I might want to use this for a YouTube video. Talking to the boss.
Right. Can you get his lower third up on this screen or not?
I can, but I don't really want the voting thing for YouTube.
As long as it goes over the top. Yeah, as long as it goes over the top.
Tobias is happy to wait a couple of minutes, and if we do after the vote, and we might do a bonus section. I want to do a bonus section. We'll do a bonus section with Tobias.
Actually, yes, because then that means that I can. You can talk to Toby, and as much as I love you, Toby, I can then sort out the results.
Yeah,
but
you'll still be on screen.
Toby.
But
I know, but I will
I'll
be.
Talk about Tobias. I really want to talk about the Berlin situation, because I really think I really wanted to do that. So, and we can get that out for a YouTube video. But anyway. Let's talk in. I'm really excited about the Madrid track because I think it's going to be obviously it's a new track and there's lots of undulations as you described when you went there for pre-season testing. It's it's just only, as you said, 23 laps, and we should have pit boost, I believe, as well.
Yes, we do.
For that race. Although I don't think that has been officially confirmed.
Yes, it has. It was
has-
officially confirmed last week.
Oh, I missed it. To be honest with you, I've had a busy week.
Yeah.
So pit boost is here, which I think will be really interesting, and I think that's done to stop it from being a really high peloton race, which we were expecting in Miami, for example, but because of the rain, we didn't get it. I haven't looked at the weather, but I do think it's going to be a really interesting track. I don't know what is going to happen because you can't predict anything in Formula E. But I am intrigued to see how this Jarama track works as a track, because I said for Gen 4 Barcelona, right? I feel like, go to Barcelona. It's a bit more of a modern track. I might fall in love with Jarama when I'm there. But I just think Barcelona's a bit more modern and so forth. So I'm really interested. And obviously we've had a bit of a break. And has anyone been able to get on top of their cars? A Jaguar, yes, they've won 2 races, but can they make a step forward? I think that's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of potential talking points. I don't know what you think. What are you looking forward to? Mahindra, I was going to say Mahindra, and Mahindra, like, could this be the opportunity for them to win their first race? I'd love to be there when they won their first race under Frederick Bertrand. Obviously, they've won races before, but like under Frederick, I'd love to be there. But anyway, what are you looking forward to?
I think it'll be I think it'll just be an interesting race. I think it'll be very interesting, kind of energy-wise. Obviously, they brought in pit boost to kind of nullify that a little bit, but because it was going to be. The race was going to be so quick. It was going to be 21 laps without pit boost. At least they're going to get a little bit more of their money's worth for. But the thing is, I moan about it all the time about the length of these races. That it's too short, and that's genuinely how I feel about.
But we don't know how long time-wise that's going to be. That's the problem. So then, yes, it may be like 20. If it's half hour, I'll be disappointed. Like I've flown over to Madrid for a half-hour race, I'll be disappointed. But yeah, we don't know how long. That could still be 45 minutes, Loinga, because it's a 3 kilometer. Well, it's over 3 kilometers track. What is it? What was the kilometers? I've forgotten now. I had it in my
3.934.
Oh, it's 3. Yeah, right.
I know that because I had to film it. I had to film it yesterday.
I thought it was. So, it's a long track. That's why I knew it was going to be a long walk.
It is the longest track in Formula E history. As of next week, it will surpass Miami of last year.
Oh, Miami of last year. Sorry, Beijing was
Miami of last
longest.
year. No, but Beijing was the longest until Miami last year.
Okay.
Which is crazy. The first venue that we ever had
was the
longest Formula E track for.
No one wanted to bring back Beijing.
12 years.
Times. Imagine going back there. That would fit the Gen 4 track. Cars. That was a wide street circuit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the problem with previewing Formula E rounds. Is you don't really know what's going to happen. But you're looking at the likes of Oliver Rowland and Pascal Wehrlein and to do well, right? But if they don't, and it's interesting to see where this championship's going to go. I'm interested in Eduardo Mortara. Pico, I think he's the one to watch. If there was with the book and you've got the driver that you've got to think that's going to have a good weekend, I'm going to go for Eduardo Mortara because he's been consistent and he hasn't won yet, but he's second in the championship. And I'm like, okay. And he's the closest rival to Pascal Wehrlein, and with Pascal not having the best of weekends in, where were we last time? Jeddah.
Yeah. 2 seconds, Jack. I am just going to say you have less than a minute to vote on that. So if you haven't already, vote on the QR code because that will run out in the next minute. Continue.
He could not win a race. I'm not saying he's not going to win a race and win the championship, but if he can, that Mahindra is fast and will be in the top 5, I reckon, for most races if he can keep his nose clean. So there is a potential that he doesn't win a race, picks up podiums and wins the championship.
Yeah. Easily.
Zippy Speed Monkey, hello Zippy Speed Monkey. I've not seen your name before, but thank you so much for coming into the stream. He said, still surprised Singapore isn't on the calendar. Well, that is one that you could vote on. So if you
That is one of the options.
you can put
You want to
Singapore
vote on it?
in the calendar, and I honestly think Singapore would be a really good addition to Formula E. I do think, because there was the moments where their two roads collide that you could just shorten it. If you wanted to bring back the chicane around the football stadium, whatever it was, or the grandstand, there was a football stadium on the other side of the. That's what I remember from that part, the old part of the track. I suppose you could bring the old part of the track as well. So, I do think Singapore would be a good one. Right, it is 10 p.m. I do want to stop talking because I do want to talk to the guys. So I want to finish.
It is 10 p.m. So the vote is now closed. You can go back to two-person screen, Jack. And we will speak to Toby, and then when we finish speaking to Toby, we will have the results for the last 8 going into the calendar.
Oh, so you want me to talk to Toby now?
Yeah. Let's do this first.
Let me bring Tobias. Where is it?
Yeah, I've done it.
Thank you very much, Tobias. How are we? And you might not be in the best shape. Hello, Tobias. He's probably muted. He did say he was at Cologne train station, so we'll give him a couple of seconds. If he really wanted to dream, look into the London F1 track proposal. Yeah, 100%. I fully agree with you. The London F1 track proposal around Stratford.
I'll be honest. I found it crazy that no one suggested
Right.
any UK venues, especially as I said, London wasn't on the calendar. Manchester and Silverstone were the 2 UK venues suggested.
But London, for me, that's something to the future. Those roads around the Olympic Stadium are dead, right?
Yeah.
Any day of the weeks. I've been there on a Saturday. It's dead. Not just for football, because I'm going to watch Brentford against West Ham, right? It's dead. I've been around there on a Saturday. There's options to make that track. But Tobias Verts, can you hear me?
Yeah.
From eFormula News. Good to have you on.
I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Yeah, I can hear you here. I thank you for coming on. And the main reason I wanted to talk to you on because you guys broke a news story about Nürburgring potentially being considered for a race in Germany, and then I saw another a news article from you guys where you said, well, Berlin or a reference. You made a reference to it still having a contract until 2027, which obviously includes the first year of Gen 4. So can you talk to us a little bit about the Nürburgring idea, and if that's something that, how close was that? Is that something that was being seriously considered or just talked about in the IFRA of Formula E, like a potential, just in case for whatever reason Berlin can't happen, Nürburgring's the backup, or was it a serious contender to potentially be on the Gen 4 calendar?
To be honest, there have just been some talks with the Formula E people, with people from ADAC, what's the German automobile club, and they spoke about probably bringing the race to Nürburgring because it's a venue that's typical for Formula E, let's say it that way. It's in the middle of a city. It's a classic racetrack where there have been races since 50, 60 years, I think, something like that. And DTM is driving there every year, and so I think it wasn't potential option for the future. But as you said, there is a contract that Berlin will be on the calendar at least until 2027. They have a 3-year option to extend the contract until 2030, which is, as it stands, the end of the Gen 4 era.
Amazing. Because for me, right, when I saw that, my head hit my hands, right? Because I thought, there's no way Formula E can drop Berlin, right? Because we basically have a blank canvas for whatever generation of car, we can make the perfect track. Arguably, this Gen 3 one, I think, has been a pretty poor track. I think the one that's a bit too short. And he obviously encouraged a lot of peloton, but I think that was just a problem with the Gen 3 car in itself, because arguably maybe even the track in the Gen 1 era was probably a bit better. And that was the first ones that we went to. And I loved the iteration that we had with the long Shanghai type corner, first corner that we used to have. I really enjoyed that track. I just think we have such a blank canvas in Berlin that it's a mistake to even consider. And, when we think about, cities and being in the core of Formula E, by being in the city centres, being close to in major capital cities, this ticks all the boxes. Why on earth would you want to change that?
There are several reasons. One has to do that the venue in Berlin is quite good for Formula E, but it's far away from being optimal because, as you all know, the airport building there was built in the 1930s, and they have to do much work on the hangars, for example, in the upcoming years, because they want to keep the building in its original style, and because of this you have to do some big works on it, at least all 15 years or something like that. So that's something they have definitely to work on. And this leads to some kind of trouble when you want to do really big events on this place, because it has something to do with safety. You can't have spectators in those areas where there is construction work and something like that. So what Formula E made, I think 2 years ago, in 2024, was they put the entrance to the back of the side.
Yes.
Now the entrance is from the park side, not from the original building. And in the beginning, in the building where was the autograph session. This can't be done anymore because there is construction work. So they have, like Formula E Classic races, the autograph session in the pit lane now, which makes many things more complicated. Because, for example, you have to cross the track and you have to build the bridge. Sorry, guys, for the sound. I'm in the train right now.
No, it's fine.
So
you cut out. You cut out a
um,
little bit, but
some
you're
announcement here.
absolutely fine.
Okay, I'm good. And they have to build a bridge over the track to bring the people or the spectators into the pit line for the autograph session, which makes it more complicated because at the moment the side of the track where the grandstands are located is exactly on the opposite side where they have the bridges. So the people have to walk all around the track to get to the bridges, to walk over the track into the paddock, and from the paddock into the pit lane, which is quite complicated from a logistical point of view, quite complicated from security point of view, for example, too. And I don't know how they will do some changes, but I already heard they are planning some changes in the next few years there, if the race will stay in Berlin, what it absolutely looks like at the moment. But I think we just have to wait and see.
So are you confident then that Formula E will be racing into Berlin more than likely into the end of the Gen 4 era?
I think the whole Gen 4 era should be safe. Berlin is for an international racing series the most spectacular city in Germany to race in. It's not just the capital. It's Tempelhof is a place with a very big history regarding from the years right after World War II, where they had to use the the airport to get the Berlin population. So I don't know what how to say to bring them food and something like that. And because of this, it's a very special, well-known place in. I think in most part of Europe.
Yeah, it's
maybe,
steeped in
maybe
history,
in the
isn't
whole
it?
world.
Like I remember
Yes,
going there.
absolutely.
I remember going there, and I do remember like that autograph session because I remember interviewing Felix Rosenquist because he got pole that day. Going to the autograph session.
I remember.
And it's a shame that we're not in there, but it makes sense. It's a small price to pay. I think that's a small price to pay, right? Because I remember them doing it on the check-in desks. I think that's a small price to pay for having the event, and I just think it is one of the best events. And yes, I have noticed those changes because I think I've only missed one Berlin E-Prix. I missed obviously the COVID season. I think I missed one Berlin E-Prix for whatever reason.
Same for me.
But I've been there, and I have noticed that they've changed it because you could go in through the.
You weren't there season 9.
Was I not there season 9? Yeah.
No, I remember that you weren't there.
Yeah, so I remember watching.
That's the one year that I did it.
Yeah, I remember watching from home, thinking this is wrong. I should be there. And yeah, so and even in the COVID years, I was like, I should still be there, even though no one was there. It felt wrong watching it from home because I've been there since season 1, pretty much. But I just think it's such a staple, and to lose a founding member, right? Berlin has been on the calendar since season 1, and to lose it, Tobias, to go to a racetrack in somewhere else, right? I think would be such a bad decision from Formula E. What was your initial to end this segment? What was your initial reaction when you heard those rumors? Was that like, don't do this, Formula E? Did you thought, I can see why? What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was I could see why, but yeah, it's. I think it's the same as you said. Formula E will lose of its one of its central stages for all of the 12 years now, and I don't think it's a good idea to go away from Berlin.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Right, Tobias, I know you're on the train, and I absolutely love that you've spoken to us tonight, because none of this was planned. You just came in to say hi, and I was like, actually, I really would love to talk to you about this. So thank you so much for talking to us, and I hope you get back, or wherever you're going, you get there safely. And we'll call that there. We'll let Tobias go. Right, but absolutely amazing to hear from him, and he has gone. So now I will throw back over to Pico to find out what the results were from the Gen 4 calendar. Oh, you're muted because I told you to mute because your mic was really loud during.
Yeah.
Your mic was
Okay.
really loud.
I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't know what that was. I know that I've been messing around with some settings because obviously there was the thing earlier on in the year where I dropped out occasionally. But yeah, I've rectified that, and it's now OP the sound thing. So, I first have a question for you, Jack. How would you like me to read the results? Would you like me to go first to eighth, eighth to first, or a random order to build the suspense?
Eighth to first. I don't know. Does it matter? No, yeah, go eighth to first. Let's see which one. Let's
right.
Go from eighth, and the last one's the last one is the main one.
Right. Okay. So we've already had 8 countries and 8 venues that are on the fans Gen 4 calendar. It's now time to find out of the venues that were picked tonight, which ones are going to be joining them. As they say in Sweden, vi har ett resultat. See, I'm learning. For if Joel gets
that podium.
a podium, I'm learning. And I definitely just didn't nick that from Melody Festival. Right. So we will start with the country that got the 8th most votes and work their way up to first. So the first country to join the calendar, the first venue, sorry, to join the calendar is the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. Well done to Montreal. They're on the calendar.
Well done.
The next venue on the calendar.
I feel like we should have like
Yeah.
round of applause.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Yeah, I am. In my head, I've got dramatic music,
Yeah.
so we'll just go off that. We can add the dramatic music in later. It'll be fine. Right. The
Adelaide,
next
you said.
country is Adelaide. Yes. Yeah, I think I got to Adelaide, and then yeah. Right. The next venue. We stay in the same country because Surfers Paradise
Really,
got
back
the
to
6th most. Yeah.
back in
well,
Australia.
Yeah. Well, it got the 7th and 6th most votes. I said it that way round just to make sure I didn't say it the other way round. But yeah, so both Australian venues got into the top 8. The country that finished 5th in the vote is a Formula E returnee, and that is Rome, that we lost a few seasons ago. Rome, I think it'll be amazing to have that back on the calendar. So, yeah,
I'll take
Formula
it,
E,
Rome.
you know what to do. Right.
It was a driver's favourite as well.
Yeah. The 4th highest in the second vote is Detroit
Really?
in Michigan. Yeah.
Really? I like the
So-
idea of it, but it surprised me that
Yeah.
it's made it.
It surprised me
Out
that it
of
was
the
that high.
out
as
of
well.
27 options, I was surprised that was
Yeah.
that got up there.
Right. So now we're into the top 3. These are the top 3 that you, the fans, voted at
Home
home,
or wherever you are
Yes.
in the world.
wherever you are in the world. Number 3 was Kyalami
Really?
from South Africa.
Yeah, I
yeah.
feel like that needed it.
So yeah, I think we do need a return to South Africa, and yeah, because Cape Town I think went really well, but only happened once. I'd love to return to that circuit because that was so good, even though they had that big crash there that I remember Scott Elkins talking about being one of the worst moments of his career.
Yep.
But yeah, we now move on to the top 2, and these were the runaway top 2 in the vote. So, in second place, Singapore joins the calendar for season 13, and then the final spot,
So what was
the
number
one that the
one?
fans decided that they desperately want. This is the number 1 pick of the suggestions tonight.
God, you're
This was
worse
the
than a
number
Eurovision
1
thing. Yeah. It's like, just tell
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, no, this is what I'm fully basing it off. I mean, just for a recap.
Oh my god.
All the countries. No, I'm not.
Just tell
Because
us.
they genuinely do that on Eurovision, and it's ridiculous.
Put us
The
out of our
winner
misery.
of the second vote tonight, the runaway winner was Long Beach.
Yeah, I
we
think
went
Long
there
Beach.
obviously Series 1 and Series 2. But yeah, I think that's a very popular venue. I see that all the time, especially in the Discord. So this is your full Formula E calendar. So from the current calendar, we've got Sao Paulo, Mexico City, Jeddah, Madrid, Berlin, Monaco, Shanghai, and Tokyo remain on the calendar from this season. And then joining them is Long Beach, Singapore, Kyalami, Detroit, Rome, Surfers Paradise in Brisbane, Adelaide, and Montreal. There we go. that is your 16 rounds of Formula E.
I'll tell you that. I think it's a good calendar. No British
It
races.
is a damn good calendar, but yeah, there is no British race,
No
but
British
because
race.
no one suggested British venues
Yeah.
apart from Silverstone, i.e.
from-
Norwich and Manchester.
I think Long Beach is by far something that should be definitely revisited. And as I said, like they're talking about Phoenix. Go to Long Beach. Like it makes sense.
Definitely go to Long Beach. Like even if they want to do Los Angeles, they can just do the car parks of the Dodgers Stadium because the car parks are so big,
I know.
especially for Dodgers. Like I'm not sure who posted it in the Discord, but someone said that they can you can fit 10 Dodger stadiums in the car parks
Really?
for the Dodger Stadium, which is crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Forgot Zandvoort. Zandvoort's not on this year's calendar and missed out by 2 on making our calendar.
But Ziggy's Speed Monkey, it's not what is going to be on the calendar next year. It's what you guys would like to see on the calendar next year. So there's a distinct difference, right, between the two. Okay.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell.
There we go.
And
There
on
we
that
go.
bombshell, thank you so much.
I mean, that was rather chaotic.
But we got there in the end.
I probably imagine this going down a different route, but I'm happy that we've done it anyways. I think that format worked well. Were you okay with that?
I was
Jack?
fine with the format, and we could definitely do something similar like that again for sure.
Yeah. Sweet.
Right
Lovely. Well, thank you everyone for interacting. I mean,
Yeah.
that was
that
was good, and
we really enjoyed it. And as I said, we'll do more like this. Obviously, we'll be back next Monday to review Madrid. I'll be in Madrid, so there'll be hopefully plenty of content. We'll have the watch-alongs as well. So lots of content hopefully coming over out of the weekend, and hopefully we've got, as I said, we've got Al Bilal lined up. So hopefully that will be something that will come out in the future, because that won't come out straight away. But yeah, something to look forward to, because we've got a bit of a gap after Madrid again before we go to Berlin. So yeah, and hopefully we'll do a few more FE bars. We've emailed a couple of teams, trying to see if we can get some people on. We've had a mixed bag response at the moment, but we'll see what we can do on that as well. So we're going to sign off because it is 10:30. And thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next Monday. Good night.